Hello, everybody, and welcome to WCCF Plays. I can't remember what we're calling this now. The podcast. Put your cyberpunk cup down. We've
I'm
got
cold.
the cyberpunk fanboy. We've got Kai, and we've got Alessio, and most importantly, me.
The Activision fanboy.
How rude! I would never be such a thing. But since we're talking about Activision, the main topic today is going to be the better side of Activision. That would be Blizzard. They had BlizzCon last night, and they announced some things that everybody was pretty much expecting. And then we're going to talk about everybody's favorite company, Tencent, because xenophobia exists. And then if we need to talk any more after that, we've got Bungie. But yeah, we're going to start with Blizzard, BlizzCon, and they announced a whole swathe of things last night. Burning Crusade Classic, Diablo 2 Remake, Craft Reforged, is that going to go well? They revealed the Rogue on Diablo 4 and Arcade Classic for their old titles, and I honestly don't know if I'm missing anything. Am I missing anything, Alessio?
Well, there were some other news that popped up after the main ceremony.
How did it work last night? I have no idea.
You know, BlizzCon is made up of many panels which take place after the ceremony, so information trickles out even after that. And there were panel. There was a panel for Overwatch 2. And there we learned of some new stuff like new maps based on Rome and New York City, which look pretty good. Also, the developers talked about hero missions, which are going to be the main addition of the sequel. Allowing replayable PvE. And Blizzard said we can expect hundreds of hero missions, so hopefully it should be quite replayable, and you'll also be able to level up your heroes and fill out skill trees, and of course it will allow for more like unbalanced skills, since you don't have to factor in the PvP side, so you can have, I don't know, longer stun against a PvE enemy, of course, than you can have while you are doing PvP. So balance is different.
Okay.
They did not say when the game is coming out. I mean, we already know it's not coming out this year, but they did say there will be more news in the coming months. So hopefully we'll learn even more in the coming months.
That's it. We're not going to know much about Diablo 4 until for a while. So, just a case of wait and see. But, I think the main reveal you're talking would be World of Warcraft. They've run out of ideas, so they've got to go for, the old stuff again. Are they just going to eventually do Classic for every single expansion?
I don't think so. I mean, maybe until Wrath of the Lich King for sure, but after that, I don't know if it makes much sense, honestly, because Cataclysm, for example, it basically renewed the world, so it made it different. It changed many zones, so I don't know if it makes sense
a rebirth
to do that. So. I'd say they will do Lich King for sure, but not sure after that.
We're definitely not going to see Kung Fu Panda Classic Edition.
I think this BlizzCon was clearly about Diablo first and foremost, and of course they revealed the Rogue class for Diablo 4, and also they confirmed that PvP will be there in some areas called Fields of Hatred. So that's interesting. But arguably the fans are most excited about Diablo 2 Resurrected, which is basically I don't know. Maybe it feels more like a remake than a remaster because it looks a lot better than the original. But interestingly, the original game is actually still running underneath, so you can also play it in its original 2D form, like
Okay.
StarCraft Remastered.
Yeah, that part I'm
So-
actually really excited about because, like,
Yeah.
in Halo, like when they did the Halo, in the Master Chief Collection, and what was it? There was the collector's edition Halo remake they did, or
Yeah.
where you could flip the graphics back and forth, because that is really fun, especially if you're somebody that likes those old games. Like sometimes it's while you're playing, it's just fun to flip back and see the way things used to be, and you kind of, remember your roots, know where you came
I
from.
enjoyed that
kinda
with
thing.
the Command and Conquer remaster. Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it will be, I mean, very, very true to the what Diablo 2 was at launch, but
They say that, but will it?
Of course. Don't poo-poo it.
well, I mean,
I've got to be the cynical one.
It's gonna be broken.
They do
You know
manage
it.
to fuck everything.
It's gonna be just like everything at launch, broken.
Yeah, true.
no, I mean in terms of features.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, there will still be PvP. There will still be 8-player multiplayer, but they did improve stuff like the UI. They also added the shared stash, so you don't have to have like mule characters.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they also added controller support. Of course, the game is also coming to consoles with cross progression, which is nice.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting. I mean, of course, it doesn't look as good as Diablo 4, but that was to be expected. But it still looks, pretty modern. And
Yeah.
so
The
it
biggest
will be
thing for me is the jump from 25 FPS up to 60 finally. Like it, as good as Diablo 2 was, that all of like animation was just so janky to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I've gone back and played it recently, and yeah,
Struggled?
huh? Yeah, well, it's
Struggled.
just you can the visuals. I mean, look. I like to go back and play old games. I still have like my N64 and stuff, but when you go back to some of these games and you're used to the way things are now, and you go back, sometimes it's fine, and then sometimes you realize maybe it didn't age like you thought it did. Like the core gameplay's there. Don't get me wrong. I know somebody's gonna hear that and be like, Diablo 2 is still the greatest ever. It's the game itself. It's still absolutely spectacular, but visually speaking, it's aged a lot, and it's really cool to be able to go back and be able to play it on modern. Alessio mentioned the UI. That's the biggest one. Like I found that I play it on a laptop because it's a laptop, and the UI is kind of hard to deal with sometimes on modern resolutions, so that don't
Yeah,
scale
true.
properly. So
You
that's
need
all
to
I'm.
mod that. You need to mod the shit out of that.
Yeah, once you do that, it's great. But like if you try to just install it and run it, because I got a copy of Diablo 2 on like the little Soul Stone from Diablo 3 Collector's Edition that I bought that's sitting on the shelf up there, and I just reinstall it every now and then and play through the game and enjoy myself. So, all right, ignore me again. I'm back. I'm going back into warming up mode because it's cold here.
Oh yeah, it's like the Arctic Circle where you are still.
A little bit, trying to conserve energy so they don't hit us with the rolling blackouts like other people are getting.
Yeah. Have you suffered from rolling blackouts where you are? I know Texas has, but you're not Texas.
No, we've only got lost power once, but it was because somebody hit a pole and they had to divert power to get it back over here. So I don't
I mean, we know we're still talking Blizzard, but we know that like when we're recording now, it's only day 1 of 2 of BlizzCon, so something else could get announced. But it seems like tonight, at the time of speaking, is going to be all about World of Warcraft. But Blizzard did announce some other really old stuff, like really old, even old compared to Diablo. Their old arcade classic collection, the games that made Blizzard what they are.
That'll be
Even though
fun.
they're really not.
Do we have a list of those games?
It's literally just 3 titles that I'm aware of: The
well,
Lost Vikings, Rock and Roll Racing, and
Blackthorn.
yeah, Blackthorn. That's the one.
That'll be fun.
As long as they don't like charge 60 bloody quid for them.
No, it's actually I believe it's $20 for the set, and instead
Yeah.
of just getting one version of each game, you actually get in this instance 3 or 4. So like with Rock and Roll Racing, you get the Super Nintendo version, the Genesis version. There's a 4-player versus mode, and then whatever they're calling the definitive edition.
Oh, so they'll all be played via emulator.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Well-
to be fair, that doesn't actually sound bad.
I mean, leave it in as original as possible. The least impact, the best. So I'm good with that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As somebody who
Yeah, and
enjoys
they have,
emulators.
There's some modern stuff in there too. Like they do have the rewind that's popping up in a lot of these collections.
Yeah.
And I believe at least 2 of them, Lost Vikings and Blackthorn, have what they call like a watch mode, but it'll play like a gameplay video, and then you can just push a button and jump right into that point.
Really?
Like what they did for the Aladdin and Lion King titles.
Okay.
Oh, because those games were impossible for, fresh gamers to play. Look, I remember that one. Lion King, whenever I was little on my Sega Genesis, man, you talk about a patience maker. Oh,
Yeah.
that was
That Elephant Graveyard, man.
every time. If you ever got past it, you barely had any life left in you, and oh god, and you would go back to the Elephant Graveyard when you're grown, when you're big Simba. That, like, with the hyenas. Oh god, that was okay. Back.
It's been
Sorry.
ages since I played the Sega Mega Drive, not the Genesis Mega Drive.
Mm-hmm.
You Americans having to change
Genesis.
everything.
Mega
Drive.
Make it better. That's what you mean. We were enjoying 30 FPS while you guys were stuck at 24, or to 25. You get over there.
26, wasn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Buttery smooth here in the States, buddy.
Yeah, mainly because you're too short. Oh God. Losing it now. Losing will to live. Americans are invading everywhere.
Okay.
So I think that's everything for Blizzard, but the other big news, or it's actually not news yet until it's... So Tencent, everybody's favorite interloper, has raised 8.2 billion in a loan for
In a loan?
investment. Yeah. Essentially, it's an 8.2 billion loan they've taken out.
Okay.
Which
Okay.
they then use for either... Well, they've said it's just for general business, but I don't see how 8.2 billion is needed for general business, considering the rumors in the past were for acquisitions.
Generally buying business.
Yes.
Getting up in everyone's business.
Right?
So-
It is general business. They're in everything.
I mean, it was only 2-3 months ago they raised over $1 billion just to buy part of Sony Music Group, I think, or Universal Music Group. So, but the latest rumors are that they're looking to buy more in video games. But 8.2 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah, just earlier this month they purchased a minority stake in Bohemia and Bohemia Interactive. But they've been taking stakes in half of the major European developers. I mean, they've got a 36% stake in Fat Shark.
I'm fairly
22%
sure they've got a stake in my salt drawer. They bought
Probably.
everything.
They also bought Leyu in December, which is pretty big as well. So the question is, what is their next target with this kind of money? And it's a big
I
guess.
said it when we were talking about it either yesterday or the day before. I can't remember which day. Obviously, everybody seems to think that it's going because Epic hired somebody to look after investor relations. Everybody seems to think it's going to be Epic Games. My opinion is that won't happen. Not because they can't afford it, because they've just raised 8.2 billion in a loan. They've also got cash on hand, so they can buy it. I just think that Tencent outright buying Epic would kill any forward momentum that Epic's got.
Think so?
Yeah. So it's playing into everybody's horrible wet fever dreams and fears. But like everybody's worried that any company that Tencent's got a tiny stake in is suddenly selling information to the CCP and like I don't know, raising mongrels to attack you. Some weird whatever dreams they've got. Well,
Creating COVID.
yeah, whatever they're subscribing to the NRA, whatever it is. But I genuinely like. We know that the Chinese government definitely does put some undue pressure on companies in China. It does happen. It's not even a secret. The advantage Epic's got being only 40% owned by Tencent is that 60% of it has nothing to do with the Chinese government. If it goes 100%, and I'm not saying it will happen, but the fears of spyware being added to the Epic launcher, Chinese government looking at, even though it's not real, like they don't care about my data, but it's just one. If they just take a big lump grab every now and then, it's still a breach. It's still data going into their hand, and there is a genuine fear that 100% Epic owned by Tencent, that certainly could happen. So I honestly don't think that will happen because I think any forward momentum from the Epic Game Store will be cut off dead. And I don't think Tencent's in it for losing money. I mean, Epic aren't losing money, but they could be making so much more if they weren't doing the free games and, spending as much as they do and even giving away as much as they do in the Epic grants.
Yeah, I think if anything, it could be more of a Japanese or Asian in general company that they are looking to get into. Like you said, maybe even Nexon, Netmarble, or even Square Enix or Capcom are even possible.
So looking at the net worth of the companies, I listed just a few. Like this loan alone could buy 100% of Square Enix, just over 90% of Capcom, 80% of Netmarble, which is probably the most likely acquisition because Tencent are very much in the mobile and freemium browser sort of games. And then, like even with that, they could then buy Nexon because this loan can buy three Nexons. I mean, why you would want 3 Nexons? I don't know, but
why not?
Or they could buy 40% of Take-Two. So I'm thinking it's probably looking more likely someone like Netmarble. If I was a betting man, I'd be going them. I am a betting man, so who's going to put the stakes on for me?
I'm not. I don't bet. I like to I like to hold my money. Although I do.
Kate,
yeah.
Kate, is it raining inside your house? That's why you have.
It's cold. I'm sitting next to a window.
Well, shut the window.
It is closed. It's like 0 here, dude.
Get double glazing.
Actually, our 0 is colder than your 0. You remember that?
Yeah, because you work on weird temperatures. It gets up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Who gets to that?
I don't know. You've got weird numbers over there. Why don't you work with the rest of the world? Why do you have to be different?
Why doesn't the rest? Yeah, honestly, I prefer the metric system for units of measurement. It just
it's just the thing that confuses me because, like, why would 32 be the freezing point? And just work on the real word system.
Take your stones and go home, Chris.
Sorry?
Take your stones and go home.
Never. But no, it's yeah, I'm thinking Netmarble. Who do you think?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I think they've been grabbing more and more stuff that's like in the core gaming segment.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be Netmarble. I think maybe more like one of the big Japanese publishers. So, I mean, even Sega could be an option. I mean,
Yeah.
how much are they worth?
Ooh, let me have a quick gander.
Yeah, I mean, Sega would probably they've got a lot of IPs in there that could be exploited for monetary gains. So yeah, I could totally see Sega, and the fact that Sega, I mean, they got out of the hardware game a long time ago, so they're straight up software, and they have brand recognition. Everybody recognizes Sega. There's always this there's almost this comfort level with Sega. So as a company like Tencent, and you were investing in somebody else that you could, make a lot of money off of, it's kind of like you buy that comfort, you set down it's almost like a peace offering. It's like, this brand, you're used to this brand, buy this brand for free.
For freemium. Oh, yeah, but they'd ruin the Yakuza franchise. Maybe. I don't know.
See, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. Like, have they ruined everything that they've touched so far, or has it kind of continued?
They haven't really got involved with anything. They just their business model at the moment. If they're developing something, it tends to be the freemium style games.
Mm-hmm.
And the investments they've made with other companies, such as Bohemia, such as Paradox, such as Ubisoft, essentially they're buying the rights to publish the main games over in China.
Gotcha.
So like Paradox won't be publishing Hearts of Iron or whatever in China. So Tencent essentially take that on. They may make any slight adjustments that's needed to please the overlords, and then they publish it. And I suppose I don't know how much of a cut they'll take from that.
But overall, they're not like going in and drastically altering and making things go crazy. So, I mean, it could, I understand the concern. I do, and I'm not going to diminish people's concern about, what they do and everything. But so far, they've almost kind of been in good faith.
Yeah. But as a business plan, it makes sense to be in good faith because people eventually get pissed off.
Are they going to make a Winnie the Pooh game?
$4.6 billion.
That's a lot.
$4.6 billion. Yeah, that's their net worth, and I don't think they're going to make a Winnie the Pooh game.
Oh well, I would love to play Winnie the Pooh game.
I'd be careful if I were you. They're watching you.
I am on so many lists.
Oh dear. Is there anything else anybody's got to say about the 10 cents?
I can see probably snatching up some kind of engine software, maybe like Game Maker, or probably a bigger investment in like Unity or something.
That could be interesting, yeah.
Just a bit more residual cash flow.
That does actually make a lot of sense. How much does Epic make through Unreal, the Unreal Engine licensing? I could see. Yeah, I could see Tencent possibly, if they were to pick up something like Unity. I think there would be a lot of pushback if they did, though, because the people who use Unity are very much all about that open market, open, and they're going to feel like, China company coming into my openness. They're going to start closing doors and taking out Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, actually, it would make sense because, most mobile games are actually made on Unity, not Real Engine. So, if they want to increase their
control the mobile market.
Yeah,
that's actually an interesting idea. I didn't think about that.
There you go.
Yeah. Look, we've learned something today. Or I don't. Maybe.
Yeah, no. Unity is huge on mobile. Like, especially, I know all the games I play on my Android phone. Whenever I pop it up, it's got the little.
Plus the big.
All right, there we go. There's our bet. There's the prediction. They're going to buy Unity.
So you're going for Unity. I'll stick with Netmarble now. I've said it.
Okay, jot those down. We'll revisit one day whenever I'm right.
Well, Well, it's actually on topic because, well, it's involvement from Chinese companies. The last company we can talk about is Bungie, who, well, have got a new IP funded by NetEase coming out, but they've got major growth plans coming up.
What is their new IP? I've caught wind of it, but I haven't had a chance to really dig into it.
Nobody knows.
It's not like they have announced it.
Okay, so we just know that there's a new IP.
Yeah, a $100 million investment by NetEase, and that's going to be pushed into people working on a new IP, essentially.
Huh.
And also they're basically they are tripling the size of the HQ in Bellevue, and also they're opening an European office in Amsterdam next year. And they also brought on board on the board of directors a couple of executives who have a background in the TV and film business. One is from Viacom CBS. So basically, they said they are going to expand the Destiny IP into additional media, which should mean really TV and film. So we can expect a Destiny TV series possibly, or film at least.
I'm
not sure how interesting it will be. So
yeah, I really don't.
Honestly, the story was
the word you're looking for is shit. That's the word you're looking for. It was crap for a storyline. Yeah, it's nice to see any games company expanding, investing, and growing. Especially considering stuff we've been talking about recently. Everybody's buying everybody else out, so it's going to be it's just going to be one big company called the games industry.
You know, that happens, I'm done. I walk away. I'll go, I don't know. I'll go whittle widgets out of wood with a pocket knife, and I'll sit on my porch and I'll yell at the kids as they go by.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah, hey, get off my lawn! Darn churns. Yeah, no, when that happens, I will be sad.
Yeah,
I think Kai played the most Destiny out of all of us. So, what do you think about Destiny TV? Potentially.
I mean, there's some interesting story stuff that they're finally putting in there that's not just restricted to the lore cards. I think there's kind of some cool stuff going on with like Rasputin and the Hive Mind and the Red whatever.
See, even Kai who's played it the most says the Red whatever.
There's I don't know. It's hard to keep track of all these like little splinter factions that are fighting against each other. But I mean, if they want to do essentially like Firefly just with Guardians, I'd be down with that.
Yeah. I like Firefly.
So Nathan Fillion can finally come back from the dead.
Exactly.
And somehow get Sean Bean on it.
He'll die.
No. Not fair. Why does everybody punish us Yorkshiremen?
If Sean Bean's in it and he doesn't die, was he ever actually in it?
He's been on something that he didn't die in.
Yeah, and you can't remember
Sharp. Yeah, Sharp.
Silent Hill movie.
He should have died on that one. He did die on the inside.
He was dead all along.
Did he die? Did he die in the second one?
Yes.
I'm gonna say I think he went to the other side, the Silent Hill side, in the second one. So in the film lore, maybe he's dead.
I don't know.
I hated the second one. I like
God, they butchered the second one. I enjoyed the first one, even despite the changes from. I
think we might have to have that as a topic for another one.
Video games, movies,
and TV.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So I think
we'll see the Mortal Kombat movie by then.
Yes.
And just make sure you preface by explaining to everyone why Chun-Li's not in that movie. I play video games, guys. Why isn't Chun-Li in the Mortal Kombat movie? Herda. I'm one of you.
Why? It's all the Me Too movement. Oh,
That's
no,
all I
guess
have.
I'll say that.
I'm done for the day.
Yeah. Before I stick my foot in it even more. I think that's everything I can think of.
I've got one last topic to muse about slightly.
Yeah.
So the new big sensation on Steam is Valheim. It's a survival game again, although it is more polished than the average survival game in early access. But my question is, are survival games coming back after Battle Royale, or is it just
I
a
don't think
one-off?
they've ever died.
Yeah.
I think everything's got some sort of survival aspect now. I'm fairly sure the next Cooking Mama will have a survival mechanism.
Crafting, survival. Make new game. Crafting, survival. Make new game. Everybody jumps on it because all it takes is one streamer to go, "Oh, I love this new crafting survival game," and then everybody goes, "I would it be just like the streamer." I played the game, and it goes, and you ask them, you go, "Why is the game good?" And they're like, I'm like, "It's Minecraft. It's just Minecraft from a different perspective. Give me a new game." I'm gonna be the cynic here.
See, I like some survival games when they revolve it around the atmosphere. There's some, how can I say?
You know why this one's look? I've talked to some people, guys. I haven't played it because I'm not spending $20 to figure it out, to put it on the back burner of all the games that I bought that I never have time to play.
So, Coffee Stain, if you want to send us a few codes.
The people that I've talked to, they seem to like it because the survival part is very easy.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard good things about it, but I've not.
I haven't heard anybody that played it say they didn't like it. I just like to give it crap because it's like, oh, another survival crafty game. How original. Never heard of that before.
At least it has Vikings. I think that's.
I'd rather play. Was it Jotun? I'd rather just play that.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I like that. I think I can't really think of it. It's just it's until I get a chance to play it, I can't really pass judgment.
I can't either. I just like to give it crap and be cynical. That's what I did to my friend who was like, "You got to play it," and I was like, "You got to play me." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah. What? I've warned you about sexually harassing people.
I know. I keep going to HR.
Right. I can't think of anything. Anything from anybody? I'm
good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff I'm playing, I can't talk about, so yeah.
Ooh.
Kai is secrets.
Yeah.
It's just that they're adult games.
I can say that Ghosts and Goblins is still bloody hard.
It is. That. And my little Super NES over there, I play it on that little bitty thing right there. Right there. Boop,
boop, boop, boop. I play mine on this little thing.
Yeah, you don't want to know what Chris plays on. Chris is going to go to HR this time.
I never go to HR. I'm just me. Anything, Alessio? Anything you want to add on? What you're playing?
Nothing really in particular. So, yeah.
He's waiting for that Outriders beta to open up.
Yeah, that opens up next week.
I'm so worried about that after Avengers.
It plays better than Avengers from what I remember.
That's not hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm
playing the Division 2 right now, so I don't really foresee Outriders playing much differently from that.
Okay.
Well, it has powers at least, so there is that.
Yeah.
I think that's
disappoint.
God. I think that's about everything then.
Yeah.
So, anybody?
I'm out.
Are you holding your hands up?
I'm out. Yeah. I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us, everybody. And remember, they're probably going to buy Netmarble, and Outriders hopefully won't be another Avengers.
Something